clearly humans and machines are kind of converging, parenthesis, right? And the Meatspace and cyberspace is coming together. And that's inevitable. That's happening everywhere. But we have to safeguard ourselves to a certain extent by saying, okay, we need to figure out what is the balance between those two things. And what is good for us and what is not. It's not just good because it exists and it's possible. It's also good because we have certain values. And this is going to be about the proaction, how we move forward into new ideas and precaution. And I really think we have to think about that also when we think about how we market to people. Being proactive and jumping into new things and trying them, that's good. But also precaution. We don't want the same thing to happen that happened with social media, where it's becoming a distortion engine, based on AI, algorithmic news data. That's completely broken, this ecosystem, right? So we have to think about both of those things as we roll out new things. We have to think about the enormous power, becoming as God, parenthesis, of course, the Sistine Chapel theme here, re-rigged with the interactivity. And we're becoming very powerful, and that's great, and I would definitely investigate and see how good that will do for us. But just because it's feasible, that doesn't mean it makes sense. What makes sense, I think, in India, mobile devices, augmented reality, glasses, holograms, expanded reality for some users, web-based experiences, that makes sense. Right? To a certain degree, of course, we have to still watch the overload factor here. And then we have to think about commerce versus purpose. It's great to sell stuff, but Facebook makes $160 million profit per day. But do they have a good purpose? And I would say they don't. Not anymore. They have lost their purpose, which I think partly why their stock is collapsing like this. So don't lose your purpose just because there's commerce. Yeah? In the end, hype or happiness. Right? That's our choice. What kind of future do you want? What kind of future do you want for your children, your grandchildren? I mean, that is the key question when we think about marketing, when we think about augmented reality. Do we want people to live in virtual reality just because they can become better sales targets? I think that's a very bad idea. We want to create value, tell real stories, talk about where it's going. So these two things in the end, bottom line also taken from my book, Technology versus Humanity, embrace technology, but don't become it.